The news of Keen's return spread through audio like harmattan fire. Men in the palm wine joints argued over how many cars he would bring. Women in the market bragged that they knew him back when he was still wearing torn slippers. Children who had never met him practiced singing his songs in the dusty streets. But no one was more unsettled than Amora. 10 years had changed her. Her marriage to Topchi had not been the fairy tale she imagined. At first, life was sweet, fancy clothes, trips to the city, gifts that made other women jealous. But Topchi had inherited his father's wealth without his father's discipline. He gambled, drank heavily, and wasted money like water poured into sand. Eventually, the businesses collapsed. The cars were sold one after the other. And Amora found herself selling fabrics in the market to feed their 2 children. She never told anyone, but every time she heard Keen's voice on the radio, she felt a sharp twist in her chest. She had chosen security over love, only to lose both. On the morning Keen was to arrive, the whole town gathered at the entrance of Odio. Children waved small banners with his name. Drummers stood ready to welcome him like a king. And then, the sound came, engines rumbling in the distance. 3 black SUVs rolled into view, polished so bright the sun danced off them. The cars stopped, and the door of the first one opened. Keen stepped out. He was taller, broader, and carried himself with the calm confidence of someone who had seen the world and conquered it. His suit was sharp, his smile easy, and his eyes, they still held that fire from years ago. Keen! 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 The crowd roared. He hugged old friends, greeted elders respectfully, and shook hands with strangers who now claimed they had always believed in him. That evening, Odio's football field was transformed. A massive stage stood in the middle, with lights brighter than anything the town had seen. Speakers boomed as thousands gathered, some traveling from neighboring towns just to witness the legend. When Keen finally walked onto the stage, the cheers were deafening. He picked up his guitar and said into the microphone, "Odio, this is for the boy you once laughed at. This is for everyone who was told no and refused to stop dreaming." He began to sing. His voice floated through the night, weaving through hearts like silk. The crowd swayed, some wiping tears. Even the elders nodded slowly, as if admitting silently that they had been wrong. After the concert, Keen stayed to greet people. That was when he saw her, Amora, standing at the edge of the crowd. Her heart pounded as she walked toward him. "Keen, it's been a long time," she said, her voice trembling. He looked at her for a moment. There was no anger in his eyes, just a quiet strength. "Yes, it has. How have you been?" She forced a smile. "I've been fine. I'm so proud of you. I knew you'd make it." He raised an eyebrow, but didn't challenge her words. "Thank you." There was a long pause before she spoke again. "Do you ever think about what we could have been?" Keen smiled faintly. "Sometimes. But life is a song, you can't go back to rewrite the first verse. You just keep playing." Her eyes glistened. She wanted to say more, to tell him she had made a mistake, that she wished she had believed in him, but the words stuck in her throat. Over the next few days, Keen visited old places in Odio, the school where he first sang, the riverbank where he wrote his early songs. Everywhere he went, people treated him like royalty. Men who once mocked him now tried to befriend him. Women who once ignored him now spoke with sugary voices. Even Odegu, his uncle, said, "I always knew you'd make it, my boy." Keen only smiled. He had no time for bitterness. Success had already done the talking for him. On his last day in Odio, Keen organized a small gathering in the town square. He thanked the people for their support, even though they hadn't always believed in him. Then he said something that made everyone fall silent. "When I left this place, I carried nothing but my dream." Many laughed. Some doubted. But I learned something important. Your value doesn't come from who believes in you, it comes from who refuses to give up on you. And sometimes, the only person who refuses to give up is you. The crowd clapped, but in some hearts, especially Amora's, his words felt like a gentle but painful reminder of choices they could never undo. As Keen's convoy prepared to leave, Amora stood by the roadside, watching. She wanted to call out, to ask if there was still a place for her in his life. But Keen only looked at her through the window, gave a small nod, and the cars rolled away, leaving behind dust, music, and a memory that would haunt her forever. In that moment, she knew. The boy she once rejected had become the man she could never have again. Thank you for watching. Please, like, comment and subscribe.